In a wild update, New York Jets edge rusher Hassan Reddick will be sitting out in the opener against the San Francisco 49ers, while teammates such as C.J. Mosley and also head coach Robert Saleh have spoken out on Reddick's decision to do so and hold out, and we're going to break it all down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as we always do, because as we all know now, Hassan Reddick is officially sitting out game one of the Jets season. And taking a look at it, as Adam Schefter announced, Jets holdout edge rusher Hassan Reddick will forfeit a game check of nearly $800,000 for missing tonight's regular season opener versus the San Francisco 49ers, and an additional nearly $800,000 for every game he subsequently misses after this one. This is one of the more than $5 million in NFL-mandated fines that he has already accumulated. What are you doing, Hassan? All right, look, I understand some holdouts work. I'm not going to act like every time a player holds out, it doesn't work out and they don't make money. Let's take a look at Le'Veon Bell, for instance, who held out because everyone knew he was the best running back in the NFL that year, so he could get away with it, and the Jets paid him an absurd amount of money. Now, the Jets did not have an offensive line or a good team at all, and they had the worst head coach in maybe NFL history in Adam Gase, who's just an absolute disaster and should never be allowed near a football field again. He should actually have a court order to never go near one. I don't care what level of football it is. Even if it's YMCA football, no, you can't. You can't even go near a football. But that's not the point. The point is the fact that Hassan Reddick is now sitting out, and this feels pointless. Looking at how this went, the Jets traded for him after losing Bryce Huff to the Eagles. The Eagles trade Hassan to the Jets. Hassan says, I'm sitting out till you'll give me a contract extension. Then the Jets are like, yeah, we're not giving you one, dude. We're going to wait and see how you play. Hassan Reddick requests a trade. The Jets go onto social media, say publicly that they're not trading Hassan Reddick under any circumstances, and that they expect him to show up and play football for them, as that is his job. I don't want to be one of those guys who's like, oh, Hassan, just go shut up and play football. That's your job. You get to go play football for a living and get paid millions and millions of dollars to do so. I'm not trying to be that guy, but Hassan, go play football, dude. Look, I'm a New York sports fan. If you watch Knicks and Yankees Digest, you know this. I'm going to be a little bit biased towards my team, but I just don't see what Hassan Reddick thinks he's going to accomplish here. I really don't. I don't think a team will trade for him. The Jets will only take a package better than what they got for him, which they gave up, a fifth-round pick? They gave up a mid-round draft pick. They would want something higher in order to somehow capitalize on losing Bryce Huff to the Eagles and then also losing Reddick, someone who they expected to be probably their best edge rusher this season. And, players have spoken out on it. The coach, Robert Saleh, has spoken out on it. And let's take a look on that, because it is something that we have to break down. Now, as mentioned by Robert Saleh, I'll stand firm when he gets here. We're going to welcome him with open arms. We're going to love him up, and he's going to be a part of this football team, and he's going to help us win a lot of football games. He's got to sort through that financial stuff, which is none of my business. Pretty much a phenomenal answer from Robert Saleh. He is not in the front office. He is the head coach. He is there to help the Jets win football games, and obviously everyone else in the organization is too, but the way that Saleh helps them is purely on the football field. He's not making decisions behind the scenes. That is Joe Douglas's job. Saleh is simply there to be on the field making the calls. So, looking at this, you understand, okay, good answer from Saleh. Always been a guy who backs his players, continues to do that right here. Very, very good idea. The one player that Saleh wasn't openly backing like there was no tomorrow was Zach Wilson, who's actively just bad at football and had a terrible attitude on top of things. So it's kind of hard to back that, especially when you're a guy who's such a player's coach like Robert Saleh. You want to back your guys, and when Zach Wilson's doing everything to make his teammates not even like him, to get his teammates to wear Mike effing White shirts, who took Zach's job, yeah, that shows who the problem was there. So clearly this has nothing to do with Hassan Reddick. He just wants his money, which I understand. You want your extension. But if you keep doing this, next year, teams are not going to give you some long-term guaranteed money thing. You're going to get a one-year prove-it deal by some random NFL team. You're going to go play there, and unless you have a great season, you're going to get a different one-year prove-it deal by a different NFL team, and you're going to continually do that like Jadeveon Clowney does. That is what Hassan Reddick is barreling towards. I almost said Robert Saleh. That would be kind of funny if Robert Saleh was doing that. But no, on a serious note, that is what Hassan's going to be barreling towards. He's 30 years old. He doesn't have the luxury of saying, I'm 24. Like, What if I explode onto the scene? Give me multiple years. No, you're 30. We know what you do. We know exactly who you are as a player. The Jets want to see you prove that you still are that player and that you can continue to be that player over the next few years while the Jets compete for a Super Bowl. The Jets are a contender. They view themselves as one of the premier talents in the NFL. In their mind, they're supposed to win the AFC East. I agree. That is what you have to do. If you don't win the AFC East, it probably means the Dolphins did, which is kind of a failure on the Jets' part. Now, obviously, the Dolphins are a great football team also, not trying to disparage them. I'm just saying the Jets, it's their division to lose, which has been the first time since my lifetime. So, clearly, the Jets need to go out there and do something about this. However, there's not much more they can do. I don't think they should just pay Reddick. They should not fold to him. Make Reddick come back. He needs the Jets more than the Jets need him, and the Jets need Hassan Reddick. So don't get that twisted. It's just where they are right now. They're going to need to bring Reddick back, and the players are seemingly big fans of having Reddick on the team. Now, as mentioned by Jermaine Johnson, we all love him, and we're all waiting for him. When he's ready to get here, but we have full confidence that we're about to do some damage. You can ask the teams that we joint practiced against, and then y'all will see. I don't know why I'm struggling to read this right now. And then y'all will see on Monday. I think we all feel pretty good. And on top of that, CJ Mosley also spoke on this, saying, as far as our defensive line goes, it's a defensive line that adjusts and rotates every single play. As far as some people not being here and people being gone, that doesn't really make a difference. CJ Mosley giving the most captain-like answer. I mean, Mosley rides and dies for this Jets team. At one point, he was the best defender on the Jets. Obviously, those days are past him, though Mosley's still a phenomenal defender. Don't get it wrong. The Jets just have great defense between Quinnen Williams and now also Quincy Williams breaking out and Sauce Gardner being the best defensive back in football. So you hit this point where it's like, okay, we have this elite defense. We don't need Hassan Reddick there. We want Hassan Reddick there because that would be super helpful for our team to have. Now, as mentioned right here on the Pat McAfee show, the holdout that I don't get is Hassan Reddick, and he's just giving away money. That's what Matt Lombardi said about this, and he's right. He's right. And if he's back in the Jets, then this is a very strange circumstance, something that was even mentioned on Twitter. Now, also along with that, without Reddick, the Jets have the best corner trio in the NFL, two of whom are going to be here for the foreseeable future, and DJ Reed will see about that one. Two all-pro linebackers in Mosley, in Quincy Williams, a Pro Bowl edge rusher, a first-time all-pro defensive tackle, and a first-team all-pro defensive tackle. Sorry, I can't read. And Quinnen Williams, obviously, and an elite defensive coaching staff. The Jets do not need Hassan Reddick, but he is a luxury for them to have. The one thing you could say about the Jets' defense is that the pass rushing could be better. Hassan fixes that problem, and I hope because of that, and because I've always been a fan of Hassan Reddick, and I think he's a phenomenal player, I would love to see this thing go right. I think the Jets will be able to work this out. I don't see Reddick sitting out the whole year. I just don't think it makes sense for him. I don't think it makes sense for the Jets to just watch him, though the Jets at this point seemingly do have the edge. We'll see. It matters on how the game goes tonight. It matters on what the Jets look like down the stretch of these first few games. Are you going to be able to rush the quarterback well enough, or are you going to budge? If the Jets can't get to Brock Purdy and following quarterbacks, then look, you might have to. It gives Hassan more power. But as of right now, the Jets hold the cards. I'm very curious to see what happens. Let me know what you think is going to happen. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Jets.